When Fire Emblem fans are asked about what the best maps in the series are, common answers often include maps like FE6's Heroine of the West, Conquest's Unhappy Reunion, and FE10's Alencia's Gambit. Off the top of my head, there are quite a few characteristics these maps share. All of them have optional goodies to secure, there are objectives to defend, be it a tile or a unit, and defeating the boss will give some sort of reward, like opening the Seas tile or ending the map early. With all that said, FE8's Turning Traitor definitely has a case to enter that tier of maps. Before I get into why I think this is the case, I will preface everything with what I think makes a good map. You can look up what makes a good chapter in a Fire Emblem game and get quite a few answers. But in my opinion, the best maps in the series employ these key traits. Viable anti-turtling incentives, or ATIs, which basically are a reason for the player to stick their neck out instead of just huddling around. An appropriate challenge for the player, and a solid story reason for the chapter existing in the first place. We can see how the aforementioned maps fulfill each of those traits. So how does Turning Traitor do it? To begin, let's focus on the last point, as it's the foundation of the chapter. At the beginning of the chapter story, Dusel is in the Grotto Portent of Bethro and feeling uneasy about the war and fighting his former student Ephraim, a situation hinted at in the previous chapter. Selena arrives and requests the order for the troops to march, but Dusel refuses, wanting to talk to Ephraim first. Selena then brands him a traitor of Grotto and commands the troops to chase him and a few other defectors down. Seeing the Grotto army pursuing Dusel, Ephraim's army rushes to protect him, setting the stage for the chapter. This immediate tension gives the chapter a strong reason to exist. High stakes unfold right from the start. A general accused of betrayal by his own country now defends himself against his former allies. The irony deepens as the Grotto general needs rescuing by the Prince of Renais. Though using Dusel as a game over condition for this map is a smart way to blend gameplay with the story. Now that I've given you a quick summary of the chapter's opening, let's dive into the gameplay. The map's objective is to survive for 10 turns. Defend/survive maps don't have the best standing in the community, and yet two of the maps I mentioned earlier were defend maps, and are among the community's favorites. So, what sets them apart? The key difference lies in how these maps engage players. Often, defend maps lack interesting activities for the players, but those well-liked maps offer ways to make each turn matter and reward players for attacking the boss even if it's not necessary. In the case of Turning Traitor, the map can end early if you defeat Baron before the turn limit's up. However, Baron presents a tough challenge for this point in the game, especially due to his 57 avoid on difficult mode and the Lance Reaver he wields on top of pretty solid bulk. While Dusel can handle Baron if he uses an axe at one range, assuming you can get to him in time, other characters struggle to take him down. Even though Dusel is incredibly tanky, the Cavaliers that defected with him aren't, and are susceptible to being worn down. Those Cavaliers have a role to play in this map as well, as I'll go over later. This is why it's a good idea to hurry over to him, which is where the enemy fleet units come in. These units, unique to this map, function like ballisticians but can only move on block. Their role is to slow down your progress in reaching Dusel, and they deal enough damage to make flying directly to him risky, but they unironically can only be taken out by your flyers. The game even rewards risking your neck with this by having one of the fleets drop a skill book upon defeat. While the safer approach is to let high defense units exhaust their ballista, you might not have enough turns to do that. Besides Dusel, you also need to worry about Cormac, who can be recruited on this map. Cormac starts moving on turn 4, and if you didn't bring Tana, your only option to recruit him is the aforementioned Dusel. The map goes another step further in encouraging you to assist Dusel by introducing ATIs in the form of villages that were caught up in the battle. And one of these villages is located near Dusel's position. In the northern village, there's a torch staff. While not the best staff out there, it becomes very valuable on the following map, which has Fog of War on top of limited mobility due to, well, being on a boat. Another village, located by the Cavaliers who have defected with Dusel, offers the player a hero crest. This item is significant as it promotes units like Garcia and Joshua, who are characters that haven't had a chance to promote yet. While this village seems safer on the surface, one of the Cavaliers could end up blocking the way to it due to the nature of AI when needing to heal. To access the village if that happens, you need a unit to rescue him, taking up an action that could be better spent on something else. If the turn limit expires or the boss is defeated before then, and all the defected cavaliers survive, the player is rewarded with a Knight's Crest. However, as I mentioned before, their survivability is far worse than Deucel's tremendous bulk, adding to the reasons for engaging with the map. With everything said, Turning Traitor is a map that deserves more than a glancing look, and I hope I've convinced y'all about this map's merits. See you later.